The 2024 Olympic Games are in full swing. Maybe you're one of the millions of people who are gathering around watching all of the different competitions that are happening from athletes from all over the world who've all converged in Paris to determine who is the best of the best. Regardless if you follow the Olympics or if you don't, I do believe that there are some incredible leadership lessons that we can learn from these athletes. As I've been watching the Olympic Games, all of these thoughts and principles have come to my mind, and I want to share these leadership principles with you today. Think about it. There are over 330 million people just in the United States alone. That's a lot of people. Yet from what I can find, only around 11,000 Americans have competed in the summer and winter Olympic Games combined since the modern games began in 1896. To really put that in perspective, you need to understand that that's less than 0.003 of the U.S. population. That's very few people who've had the honor of competing in the Olympic Games. So regardless if you're a business leader or an entrepreneur or someone just passionate about your personal and professional growth, let's learn some Olympic leadership lessons together so that we can grow and be the best that we can be. Let's go. So number one, the first Olympic leadership lesson is commitment and perseverance. Commitment and perseverance. Olympic athletes spend their entire lives dedicating countless hours to training and to perfecting their craft. The commitment even goes beyond just the physical. Now, we think about as an Olympic athlete would train, we think they have to be in top physical condition, and wow, what physical training that they must have to endure. But you really have to consider also the mental preparation. You think about the diet that they have to have and all of the lifestyle adjustments that when everyone else is doing all of the fun things, going in all the fun places, they're working, they're preparing, they're dedicated day in and day out, night and day to the craft and to the goal, the mission of making it to the Olympics. For example, athletes like Michael Phelps and Simone Biles, they all have stories of overcoming personal challenges and setbacks just to reach the top of their sport. See, in leadership, we have to have this same level of commitment. Like these Olympic athletes that I just gave you that didn't give up, that when they had these setbacks, they were still working hard, pushing through to reach to the top of their sport. So as leaders, we have to have this same level of commitment. We have to stay dedicated to the vision and the mission, even when things aren't going our way. We have to be able to stay in the game. We have to keep training and we have to keep working so that the vision and the mission that we carry is able to be accomplished. Perseverance in leadership means staying the course, even in tough times. Think about the number of people that you know right now that when times were tough, they just quit, they just give up. Think about the number of people that may be on your team that you think to yourself as you lead, if you would just stay the course, if you would just stay in the game, keep going, you can make it. But how many people quit before they ever make it through when they get that runner's high? See, inspiring the team to push through and all of the challenges and maintaining a steadfast focus on a long-term goal, that is perseverance in leadership. And you have to set high standards to be consistently working towards achieving those. Just remember that success is a marathon and it's not a sprint. And then number two, teamwork and collaboration. Teamwork and collaboration. I love the Olympic events that require teamwork. To me, it just adds this interesting layer to the already fun competition that's happening. For example, I was just flipping through some of the different Olympic games and competitions that were happening, and I happened to notice synchronized diving that was on. Now, as I watched these divers stand on these platforms, it just blew my mind that how every movement and every twist and every turn, it was all in sync. It was amazing to watch, to think about two people, individuals, standing that tall on a platform to jump off, to twist and turn and do all of the things that they were doing, yet do it in complete synchronization. See, successful teams, they do the same thing. They work in such teamwork. Successful teams, they can communicate effectively, they can trust each other, and they can play off each other's strengths and each other's weaknesses. They work in such a way, in such synchronization, that everything flows together as a team should. So in a business context, we can take these same principles to shape a work environment where every team member feels valued. Because building strong relationships and encouraging open communication, recognizing the value of each member and their contributions on the team, all of these are key aspects of effective teamwork. So building the strong relationships by connecting together, encouraging that open communication by meaning you can be open and you can be honest and you can share here. It's a safe place to do that on this team. And then when everyone feels value for what they do and their contributions are recognized, this creates an incredible teamwork. And in the process of building this team, you have to focus on aligning the team's efforts all towards a common goal. This just helps to make sure that as everyone is working, they're working in unity and they're sharing the success that happens from the work that they're doing because they're working as a team. So as everyone is a part of your team, by bringing them together, empowering them and equipping them and creating this culture, you take everyone on the journey, walking in unity, moving toward the same mission and the same vision together. And then number 3, adaptability and resilience. Olympic leadership lesson number 3, adaptability and resilience. Olympic athletes, they have to be prepared to face the unexpected. You never know what's going to happen in these Olympic events. There's unexpected challenges like injuries. There's changes in competition formats or even last-minute rule changes that happen. I mean, these things take place. And you can't prepare for these things completely. You just have to be able to adapt. For example, some of you may remember this large event that took place in 2020. It was called COVID. Now, during 2020, the Olympics in Tokyo, many of the athletes, they had to adjust. They had to adjust to competing without a crowd. Many of you had Zoom meetings and you had to learn how to adapt to lead a meeting just looking at a camera and all the different things that you had to adapt when everyone wasn't in person. Well, without a crowd, it impacts the entire electricity, the energy of the place that they're at, where they're competing, and the way that they compete. And then they had to deal with all the pandemic-related protocols and procedures and systems and all the different things that were happening with travel and all the different things. They couldn't change it. They just had to adapt to it. This whole season, that COVID, it required everyone to adapt and to learn and to grow. This is the same way with all of us as we lead. Market conditions change, technology changes, customer preferences changes. As soon as you figured out what the customers are wanting and what to order and how to serve it, it's already all changed and you have to race to catch up. Everything is constantly changing. But being adaptable means being able and willing to adapt to change, willing to pivot, change strategies, and then walk forward with new opportunities that are in front of you. You have to be adaptable. Resilience is going to require a positive attitude. I talk about that all the time. A positive attitude. Find ways to overcome the adversity. Your attitude is the lens in which you see the world. Your attitude can help you overcome adversity. As a leader, if you can grow in these qualities, you can navigate your entire organization through uncertainty, and then you can come out even stronger on the other side. Number 4, Olympic lesson number 4, mental toughness and focus. Mental toughness and focus. This is so important. The mental aspect of competing in the Olympics is as important, if not more so, than the physical. As I was watching these athletes compete, I watched the athletes who were competing on the beam, where they're flipping and turning and twisting and doing all of these amazing movements on this small beam. And I could just watch their faces, and I saw how focused and intent they were as they walked up to the beam and began doing what they do. And then I watched the look of relief that they just began to breathe when they come off of the beam. All of it, the relief, was literally written on their faces. See, there was just this intense focus. They were having to work to manage their nerves. They were having to stay mentally strong to perform at their best. There was as much happening mentally as there was physically. And for leaders, our mental toughness, it translates to the ability to handle stress. There are some people who can manage stress like Olympic athletes, and there are some people who cave immediately. See, this mental toughness will help you to handle this stress when it all begins to pile up. It'll help you make clear decisions under pressure. It'll help you remain composed in moments of crisis. Mental toughness helps you to stay focused on the goals, even when there are distractions or there are challenges. Probably every one of you right now can think about 100 different challenges, 100 different distractions that are happening that are outside of the scope of your job description. You're there to accomplish this, but you can't get to that goal or that objective simply because of all the distractions and all the challenges that are in the way. See, leaders with a strong mental fortitude, it inspires confidence in everyone that's around you. Not only does it carry you and keep you focused on what's important in the midst of the distractions, in handling all the stress, but it impacts everybody that you lead. Ultimately, it provides stability for your team. When there's times of uncertainty, when things aren't going right, when people don't know what to do, and they're looking at you, when you're composed with a strong mental fortitude, it inspires confidence in your team. They look at you as the leader, and when you say everything is going to be okay, everyone goes, it's going to be okay. When everyone looks at you and you say, I've got a plan, then everyone can rally around that plan and achieve what it is that you put in front of them. Because your mental fortitude, your toughness, that mental ability, it provides stability for everyone. The number 5, Olympic lesson, number 5, continuous improvement and learning. Continuous improvement and learning. Are you learning? The journey to the Olympics is constant learning and it's constant refinement. What they focus on every day is getting better. And the only way to get better is to learn and to grow. See, athletes, they're continuously analyzing their performances. They're watching videos, they're watching their movements, they're having feedback from their coaches and from their teammates, and then they take all of that and they begin working on the weaknesses that they have. Many of the athletes apply a concept called marginal gains. And this is just a simple concept that says making small, incremental improvements in various areas to achieve a significant overall progress. Consistently in new training techniques, nutrition plans, technologies that help them gain competitive advantage, whatever they can do in all of these areas compiled together, if they can make marginal gains to be consistently getting better, then they can get to their goal even faster. Leaders, we can apply this principle as well. We can create a culture of continuous improvement within our organizations if we're learning. See, this means encouraging innovation. It means being open to new ideas. It means learning from both success and our failures. For most of us, it's our failures where we learn the most. But when we have a mindset of learning and growing, encouraging innovation, then that helps us to get all of the lessons that we may have missed if we're trying to move past our failures really quickly. Most of us fall down and then we want to get up as quick as we can and start moving like we never tripped. But what instead we should do is stand up and go, what caused me to fall so I won't do this again? Leaders, you need to invest in your personal development. See, having that growth mindset is going to help you to stay informed. It's going to help you to continually get better. You can get better at understanding industry trends, new techniques that are out there of leadership and growth and management, new technologies that are out there to make the job easier for you, more efficient. See, there's lots of things that we can learn if only we have a growth mindset. If you have this growth mindset, you are constantly evolving. You're better than you were yesterday. You're always learning a new skill. You're just consistently getting better if you have this growth mindset. So I want to encourage you to go for the gold with these Olympic leadership lessons. Olympic athletes, they have a coach that helps them on their journey, and I would love to help you. Visit all of the links below to see how I can add value to you and how I can add value to your organization. And if this was helpful, please like this, subscribe, and then share this with other people. And like always, I'll see you on the next one.